All right, students, now that Mr. Bryant has explained to us where the formula comes from for our pyramids and finding the volume of them and has done a few examples, I'm going to go ahead and do a few more examples with you to make sure that we really understand how to find the volume of our pyramids. So we're going to go ahead and skip down here where it says practice. We're going to look at number 1. First of all, the name of this one is a pyramid because all of the sides come up and they meet at a single point, but specifically it's a rectangular pyramid since the base shape is a rectangle. So we have a rectangular pyramid. Okay, and the volume formula is going to be that 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. So we can just kind of bring down our 1/3 and ignore that for right now. For the area of my base shape, I've got to realize that my base shape is a rectangle. To find the area of that, I do base times height. Okay, so then we'll have the height of our prism also. So I have 1/3. My base times my height of this rectangle here would be 14 times my 17. And then eventually I'm going to multiply all of this by the height of my pyramid. Now the height of the pyramid shows inside here from the base to the tip is 4.9 inches. So we're going to go ahead and write that in. So then what I would suggest at this point is maybe trying to take 1/3 of one of my numbers. Well, none of the numbers that I see there are really easy to take 1/3 of or divide it by 3. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and do 14 times 17. So that means I still have my 1/3 of, and 14 times 17 would give me 238. And then I still am going to need to multiply by the 4.9. Now at this point you can think about whether 238 could be divided by 3 evenly, but it can't. So what I would suggest then is do your 238 times your 4.9, the height of the pyramid. That means we need 1/3 of 1166.2. Now taking 1/3 of something means just to divide it by 3. So if we take that number and we divide it by 3, we're going to get 388.73 repeating. And that would be inches cubed. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next example. This one's another pyramid. We know it's a pyramid because all of the sides meet at a single point. But this one is a triangular pyramid, and that's because it has a base that's a triangle. Okay, so we're going to write triangular pyramid there for its name. No matter what type of pyramid we have, we use that formula volume equals 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So just like we had been doing, capital B is area of the base, so we need to figure out what formula we use for that. Since our shape is a triangle base, that means I need half of base times height. So I do half of my 1.4 times my 1.8. If I go ahead and do my 1.4 times 1.8, that's going to give us half of 2.52. We divide that number by 2 to get half of it, we get 1.26. Now we still need to bring down our 1/3 from the very top here. We then need to still think about what's the height of our pyramid, because all of this work here was just for my area of my base shape, my capital B. So my pyramid from the base to the top where all of the all the sides meet is 2.4 meters tall. Now 2.4 is kind of like 24, guys. I know that 24 can be divided by 3. So if I realize that 24 divided by 3 is 8, that means 2.4 divided by 3 is 0.8. So I can go ahead and take that 1/3 now, get 0.8, and then we can just multiply that by 1.26. Always like to think about how we can work smarter, not harder. So let's see, our 0.28 times 1.26, that gives us 1.008 meters cubed. Okay, let's see if we go ahead and look at this word problem, see if we can figure this one out. It says the top of a gate post is in the shape of a square pyramid. Okay, the height of the pyramid, so we need that information, is 5 inches, and each side of the base is 7.4 inches. What's the volume in order to make this post? So volume is equal to, and since we're talking about a pyramid, we got to make sure we pull the right formula now. The formula for pyramids is 1/3 area of the base times height. So we have our 1/3 again, and then now we need to figure out how are we going to find the area of our base? Well, our base is a square. Okay, and they said that the sides of my square are 7.4. So if we wanted to find the area of our base, we would use 7.4 times 7.4. Okay, and then h here is going to be the height of my pyramid, which they told us the height of our pyramid was 5. So now let's see what work we can do here. I don't think 7.4 is divisible by 3. I know 5's not, so I'm going to go ahead and do 7.4 times 7.4 first. So we still have our 1/3, and 7.4 times itself gives us 54.76, and then we still have times our 5. Now we can check and see if maybe that 54.76 is divisible by 3, but it doesn't work out very well. So let's go ahead and just do 54.76 times 5. That means we still have to take 1/3 of, and 54.76 times 5 is 273.8. So now we need to take 1/3 of that number. To take 1/3 of it means to divide it by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 273.8 divided by 3, and we would get 91.26, and that 6 is going to repeat. Okay, and this is inches cubed. Alright, last one here says we want to determine the volume of a pyramid that has a height of 9 centimeters, and a rectangular base that has a length of 7 and width of 3. So volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times H, since we have pyramid that we're finding the volume of. Got to make sure we're using the right formula. So let's think about how we're going to find the area of our base. Well, our base is a rectangle. So area of a rectangle means we do base times height, or length times the width. So I'm going to have to do my 7 times my 3. That's just for capital B. And then the height of my pyramid is what we multiply with last, and that's going to be the 9. So we can go ahead and do 1/3. 7 times 3 is 21, and then we would still multiply by 9. Now we should all know 1/3 of 21. If I take 21 and divide it by 3, I get 7, and then I'm going to need to multiply that by 9. 7 times 9 gives us 63. So that one would be 63 centimeters cubed. And that would be the volume of that pyramid. Alright, I hope you learned a lot about how to find volume of pyramids. Good luck on your homework tonight, and we'll practice some more tomorrow. Have a good day.